Yo, what's up guys, my name is Severman and welcome back to another video on my channel. Today I will show you how I made my latest song called Fight the Good Fight together with Hunter Grant and Arvenius. And if you don't know what the track sounds like, this is what it sounds like. So the idea for this track was born in January 2021, I believe. That was when I came up with the idea of this track, meaning I came up with the melody for that track and the chord progression. And I actually have the FLP of this initial idea open right here. So let's just dive into this FLP and let me show you what this first version sounded like. So we just got this chord progression that you know from the track here that I came up with in this first break idea. And we also got some ambient sounds down here to fill out the background a bit. Yeah, then I sort of added the kick drum, added more rhythmic chords in order to, you know, build up that tension. Also introducing the leads, the melody in the background. Adding those snares, opening up the drop chords and stuff. But yeah, this was just, again, the first sort of sketch of the song that I made back in January last year. I didn't really know what to actually do with this song, so I just had it laying around for a few months on my hard drive, I think. And then was it April, May or something like that last year when Hunter Grant reached out to me on Instagram and he sent me a track or like a demo that basically had the vocals, Fight the Good Fight vocals on it.
I live my life searching for the light, been learning to fight through the darkness. Let me breathe again, cause I just wanna live my life.
And then I remembered, yo, I still have this idea right here that I really thought had a little potential. So I thought, you know what, let me try to grab those vocals and let me place them into this project file right here to see if like the chords and the melody would suit the vocals, and they absolutely did in my opinion. So what I did then was I sent the FLP that I had to Hunter and Arvenius, who was also involved in this collaboration, and then they added some sounds from their side to the breaks and stuff in order to fill up the song. Like as you can hear now, it was just still very basic. There wasn't a whole lot of stuff in this FLP. So I will now give it up to Hunter Grant, who will explain the final breaks of the song. Then later on I will continue to show you the drop sounds. And then at the end Arvenius will show you how we made the intro and outro of the song. So Hunter, let's go.
Hey yo, what's up guys? My name is Hunter Grant and this is my explanation of the breaks for Fight the Good Fight. I will play them in sections and explain why we did certain things and what I guess the thought process was behind it. This was the section that I really spent the most time on in the track, was the first and second break, and I feel that it has the emotion that really carries the track. So this is the first section that we are going to start off with. I will play it from here all the way to here and then I will break it down. This is what it sounds like.
I live my life searching for the light, been learning to fight through the darkness. I'll get this right, we were born to shine and we still got time, it's not hopeless. Don't look now, here comes that awful feeling, my walls are caving in. Heaven help, I can see my ghost on the ceiling. Let me breathe again.
To start off the first part of the break, we obviously have the chord progression, which sounds like this. And if you, can obviously tell, there is certain there's these parts where these type of notes play, and that's kind of like ear candy, because when I was first working on the break, it seemed empty without these, and it just felt weird with just the chords playing. I wanted something else that would also like catch your attention and also follow the vocal, kind of like lead through the track. And I came up with these, and just them alone sounds like this. I like to do this very often in my tracks. I like to have like a nice piano or a guitar that's very reverbed and like pushed, I guess, kind of in the background of the track to really have that flavor and ear candy to it, I guess you could say. After that, we have the pads, and these are very unique, in my opinion. The pads add a lot of body to the break, and they are just two Silent 1 presets. These are my signature pads, so I won't be showing the presets, unfortunately, but this is what they sound like. They also sound like this with the chord progression and the ear candy. What we decided to do next was we had this section. The next thing that we decided to add was this. The strings. The strings, they look like this, and why the notes are like this is because if you ever hear someone actually play strings, or play the violin or the cello, in like sections especially, they don't have it to where it's broken up into chords, because it just sounds, in my opinion, very robotic and very not organic. But when you extend these notes like this, it has that sense of it sounding real, because it has those smooth transitions, and with the notes holding, it sounds like more than one person's playing, and it sounds like this. That also sounds like this with everything else that I have showed. The next section that I'm going to get into of this first bit of the break is the ambience. With ambience, we wanted to, and I also like to add a lot of not only instruments, but I also like to add things that sound like this, like these two. I like to add a lot of birds, I like to add a lot of vinyl sounds, rain, the ocean, fire crackling, all that stuff, because that gives it a lot of texture, in my opinion, and it makes it feel very alive. It doesn't sound too synthetic, it doesn't sound like unnatural. It brings a lot of life to it and a lot of character, and all this with everything else sounds like this. Now we're getting into some more ambience, and some more sound effects. Here's some more ambience and some more things that I guess filled up the space of the track, and it sounds like this. Now getting into the vocal. What me and the vocalist decided to do was we both sat down. I sent him, I guess, the kind of gist that I wanted to go for in this track. I always said I wanted something that has to deal with mental battle, like mental health. That was the kind of first idea I wanted to go for, someone fighting through something, and this is what we came up with.
I live my life searching for the light, been learning to fight through the darkness. Don't look now, here comes that awful feeling, my walls are caving in.
The next section that we have is this.
I just wanna live my life, I'm never backing down, I swear I'm gonna fight the good fight. Just wanna get it right, I'm ready for it now, you know I'm gonna fight the good fight. You know I'm gonna fight the good fight. You know I'm gonna fight the good fight.
We kept the elements that, certain elements like the ear candy, the ambience, we just repeated it, but we also decided to add a chord change up. We also decided to add in these parts of percussion and downlifters and all that stuff so that it, like I said, adds movement to the track. It adds a ton of tension and it builds up into the build-up. And now leading into the build-up, we keep the chord change up that we had up here that I showed before, and we also decide to play the melody and introduce it with only one sample, so that this way when the drop hits, it hits 10 times harder, and that sounds like this. We also have these percussions and build up drums and stuff like that to build up into the drop, and that sounds like this. But like I said before, I wanted to go back to the vocals. We also have different layers of the vocal as well, and this is what it sounds like.
Breathe again, 'cause I just wanna live my life. I'm never backing down, I swear I'm gonna fight the good fight. Just wanna get it right, I'm ready for it now. You know I'm gonna fight the good fight.
Now leading into the second break, the first section that I'm gonna start off into is this.
Yeah, I've lost my crown, but no, I will not bow. You know I'm here right now for the long run. Yeah, you see me down, but you know I'll never drown. You know I'll get back up on it somehow. Don't look now, here comes that awful feeling. My walls are caving in. Heaven help, I can see my ghost on the ceiling. Let me breathe again.
So in this section, what we decided to do was have that kick from before, which is this. And we also had a guitar. Now moving into the second section of the break, which is this.
Breathe again, 'cause I just wanna live my life. I'm never backing down, I swear I'm gonna fight the good fight. Just wanna get it right, I'm ready for it now. You know I'm
originally, when we first had the break, we didn't have this, I guess, completed section with the claps and all that stuff. And I suggested, I was like, like when I play this live, or like when this is played live, I want a section where, I guess, in my head, the crowd follows along in some sort of way, whether that's, like waving your hands or clapping. I want that kind of vibe to it. So I suggested adding in a clap to really add that emotion, that attention. And these claps sound like this. But getting into the last part was this. The second build-up, we decided to keep some of the build-up samples from before, but we also decided to add in this part right here.
Fight the good fight, fight the good fight, fight the
We also have some more, obviously the ambience from before, but percussion-wise, we have this. Quite a few risers to add more motion, tension to it. But yeah, this is, I guess, my explanation of the break. I hope that you guys can take something away from it, and I hope that you guys enjoyed this. Thank you again, and I love you guys.
Awesome, thanks Hunter for explaining the breaks of the song, and now I will continue with the drop. So let's dive right back into the FLP. Alright, so yeah, I guess by now probably all of you guys know how the drop sounds already. So let me start with the drums. So I'm gonna show you the kick drum first. So in this track I have my signature kick that I use in most of my tracks. However, I use this one only as a top kick. So this one sounds like that. So what I did with this one, I basically just removed the low frequencies. Now what I wanted to do was I wanted to add a separate bass kick to the song because I wanted to have a bit more punch to the kick. So what I did was I took this Cashmere kick drum, and then here I basically did the opposite. So I removed the high end because we have the top end already covered with the other kick drum, and then some more detail EQing, and then combined both kicks make this sort of more unique, really punchy, nice kick drum. Then I layered some claps and rides, as well as some like crash notes and stuff onto the kick. Then in the second half of the drop, I also layered some type of offbeat kick to the drums. So this offbeat kick sounds like this. And what makes this offbeat kick really interesting is that I played around with the stereo imaging or whatever. So on this one I have basically this fruity stereo enhancer, and I have two of these on this one, as you can see. With this first one I'm having basically a phase offset of 0.7 milliseconds to the right side. Now with the other one, I basically have those 0.7 seconds of offset to the left side. So this creates this interesting stereo type of panning. Then down here we have even more FX sounds and also ambient sounds. So I like to use a lot of these voice type of girl ambience type of sounds. So let's check these out. So these type of sounds, you want to make sure that they're in the right key, or that they're at least in one note that's part of your scale. So if I play this one with the leads, for example, works really well, as you can tell. Creates a really nice harmony, so it adds really nice emotional feel to that melody, which is why we added those ambient sounds. But let's say if I didn't pitch this one correctly, and let's say it was like that, it sounds horrible. So you definitely want to make sure that you pitch those ambient sounds accordingly to your track. So yeah, I've just played this sort of lead plug right here, which is, I think, just one plug from Spire, I think. We consolidated this one. Then let me also show you the leads when we're already talking about the melody. So this is what the drop leads sound like. So for the drop leads, we have a few nexus layers. These two first ones are more stringy type of sounds, like they have a more real character to them, more organic sound. Then this one again. Yeah, only this one is a bit more plucky, so it sounds kind of weird listening to it like that, but it adds some nice pluck to the leads. And then these three right here are really those sustained big superstar leads that make those leads really big and fat. And then we got this sort of weird voice type of sample, I don't know what it is. But yeah, but it also sort of adds its part to the lead sound and it helps to make them sound a bit more interesting. So let's also take a look at how we process those. So first of all, we just got the basic low and high cut, probably nothing crazy. Low cut 280 Hz, high cut 16K Hz. Then I just wind them up a bit because I felt like those presets coming out of Nexus were a bit too mono-ish. Then we got this one here, just boosting the high end a bit to give some more like air or spark to them, whatever. This filter for automation. Then we got the reverb together with the P controller. Let's take a quick look at the reverb setting. So the decay time is set to 5 seconds, which is a lot actually. But I really wanted to have this nice sort of fade out once the leads stop playing. So let's listen again to the leads. I will like stop them, then listen to that reverb at the end. You have this really long, nice reverb. And let's say if I turn this down to whatever, 1.5 seconds or whatever, and maybe also the mix knob to not have that much reverb, there wouldn't be this nice fade out. So it disappears really quick, and that's not what I wanted. I really wanted to have this nice fade out, and this really also helped to make that transition into the second break really smooth, because at the end of the drop the leads start playing, then we just still have this long reverb. This really creates this smooth transition. Then we got a delay, which is automated. The wet signal is automated because I only wanted to have the delay active at the end of the drop as well, just to help smoothen out that transition to the second breakdown. And then we just have the sidechain here, Nicky Romero kickstart. First preset, 52%. So that's it with the leads now. Then let's take a quick look at those chords right here. So for these chords, I literally just use one Spire sound, and I like to use also this one in a lot of my tracks. I think this sound has a lot of warmth to it, and I really like how it sounds. Obviously, that's why I used it. And yeah, processing-wise, what we did here, we just got this EQ on here, low cut. Then we just rolled off the highs a bit in order to make it less harsh. Then it's just again like the filter for automation and a bit of sidechain, but nothing really crazy here on the chords. Then we got some pianos in the background. So for this one, I just used one instance of true pianos layered with this Arena ambience piano from Nexus. Then I have some reverb here and this EQing on the Arena piano in order to really push it into the background. And then on the true piano, there's just this EQ just rolling off the lows a bit, and then that's it pretty much, just like again kickstart and this low pass filter automation. Then let's take a quick look at the bass line. So the bass line solely sounds like this. So again, let's check out the individual layers real quick. So those first two ones sort of act as like the sub bass, kind of, you can say. So these first two ones are like providing the sub frequencies. So this is actually the same sound that's being played here. However, the second one is just an octave higher. So again, we're covering 2 octaves with the sub, which is something that I like to do in a lot of my drops as well. Then we got the mid basses. So this one got this really aggressive character to it. Then we got a warmer type of super saw that adds some width to the bass line. And then one more sound, which is that talkbox bass line that I like to have in my tracks. Then real quick on the sub bass, I have this EQ right here. Yeah, I dipped out those 770 Hertz by quite a lot actually. I don't know, I didn't really like that frequency here, so I probably just dragged it down or whatever. Then yeah, I have this one on here, looks a bit weird actually, but yeah, it ended up working in the track. Yeah, then again, just some filter automation, and then here for the sidechain on the sub bass, I like to use gross beat. Then on the mid basses, we got the low cut again, then some more detailed EQing here to sort of make the mid basses pop in the mix really. Again, filter automation, and then just the sidechain here. So now with all of the sounds that I've already shown you, it sounds really good already. However, I felt like it didn't really sound full yet. So we added more stuff to the drop, and we added more ambience sort of sounds, but also what I did was I added some top melodies to the drop, like some variations of the melody in order to add more emotion, more harmony to the drop. So let's check these out real quick here. So we got this one, which is playing like this one note and then this variation. And this one is just the Nexus square lead, I think it is. Then we got this one. So this is a string playing the same MIDI as the previous sound. Then we got this sound. So again, here I just came up with this sort of variation of the melody, as well as it's also playing like this F on top of all of the notes down here. Then we got this one. Yeah, and then all of these combined basically sound like that. So these sounds really help to, again, add more stuff in the background of the drop to make it more interesting and more special, and to give it, to really enhance this emotional vibe that we went for in this drop. Then we got some snare fill sounds. This hey shout. Then this weird ambient sound, which also like some type of uplifter in the background. Then we got some more FX sounds, some more claps, some uplifters also on the second half of the drop. Then we also got this typical like progressive house up down here. Then we got an additional shaker and a clap on the second half of the drop. And I think that's pretty much it with all the drop elements. Okay, awesome. So that's it with the drop part. On the second drop, it's basically just the same. There's nothing new there, I think. So yeah, now I will give it up to Arvenius, who will now show the intro and outro of the track. So let's go.
Hello everybody, my name is Arvenius, and today I'll just be showing you the intro and outro. So the first thing, at the top of the intro, we have the synth chords that are playing in the break, build up, and drop. The first part of the intro, we just have the chords playing on one note, and then here we just extend it to its normal length. Next up is this ambient guitar. This adds ambience, like it says in the name, and it also adds movement. Then right here is the mid bass from the drop. This helps to add more tension to the last part of the intro. And this is the top kick. And then it's a kick build here that I created. And I also added this volume automation, so when it comes to this part, the volume decreases. Next thing we have right here is actually the top kick. Here we have kick percussion thing. This is the drop snare roll that not drop, it's in the build up, and we also use it here because it helps to give movement as well. I'll play you without the fill. And with. It just helps add a lot of movement to it. Then here we have a Monset sounding siren that's also used in the break here, build up and drop. This is my own little hat loop, cymbal loop. Then we have crowd effects to add more energy. It's also used in the drop, I believe. Yeah. Here is the same string ambience that we used in the breaks and builds. I love this one. I almost use it in every track I make. Then we have these ambiences that Hunter added into the break as well. Hunter already showed them in the break as well. Then we just have some crashes going every 8 bars. Oh, I thought these were crashes, sorry. These are lead shots. I added these and I think it adds a lot to the intro, which I really love. Then we have an uplifter. Then for this part, I added a little reverb clap impact. It helps make the transition from the first part of the intro to the mid intro part more smoother. Then I added a tom fill. Then a sub drop. Then we just have a crash reverse. Then a fill that I added, but Severman kind of modified it so it's shorter. Now let's go into the second part. These are some drop claps, sorry. Then these are drop rides as well. I also forgot to show you this crash as well. Some clap fills. And a riser that is also used in the drop. Build up. Which is a very tension building riser. This is a down lifter, or it sounds like a down sign. Yeah, it's a down sign. Then the infamous little reload impact that everybody uses these days. Then this crash again from the mid part, just it's not reversed. Then some more drop claps. An uplifter. The plucky one. Pretty sure everybody almost uses this every time. A tonal riser. Then this is a white noise tonal something uplifter. And this is an ARP I created that's also used in the drop. And I think build up, yeah. This is a hat loop. And a Christian snare build. Yeah, and that's it for the intro. Then the outro is basically just the same thing. Just that this part is almost like reversed, and this part is at the start of the intro and the start of the start of the outro, and the start of the intro is the end of the outro. Just that we added some little automations, volume automations, to take out some of the elements. For example, the chords here. You can hear. I believe that's all for the intro and outro.
Okay, awesome. Thanks a lot, Arvenius, also for your part, for explaining intro and outro of the song. And yeah, that's it with this walkthrough. I think it's actually relatively long, but I hope it was valuable for you guys to watch. I hope it inspired you for your own production. If it did so, make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Comment with your feedback, subscribe if you haven't. Make sure to follow Arvenius and Hunter Grant. And I will hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.